everyone, welcome back to my channel. This is Sandy and welcome to Fun Friday, where we're going to continue working on this remake of my Route 66 album. This is what I've got done so far. I wanted to go over real quick what I did off camera to finish this side, so stay tuned. So when we closed out last week, I was debating about putting something here for trim. So I did cut some strips of the black and white paper, just like this one that I had left, and I've attached it down here and across the top, and I like how that finished that off. And then I went ahead and made some tags for inside this pocket that I had. So this is a tag that I cut to the black cardstock is 3 1/4 by not quite 6. Let's see here, 5 3/4, and then I matted it with the mauve, which is just 1/8 of an inch smaller. So the mauve is looks like 3 1/8 by 5 1/2, and then I matted this black and white check, which is 2 7/8 wide by 5 1/8. And then, of course, I did an angle punch up here on all of them and rounded the corners on all of them. So I matted that up. Then I cut this out. I think it's out of the paper, the little clock. Glued that on as a tab. See how it's finished on the back. And it is out of the 8 by 8 because it's a smaller size. And then I tied a bow with the black jute twine and then added a light pink little flat back pearl. So I love how that turned out. It's a great tag for in there. It just sits right there. These are just out of the patterned paper. They measure, about 2 7/8 wide by 4 5/8, and then I rounded all the corners, matted the mauve, and then punched around circles of the paper and just decorated that. So those are little tags that go in like this right there. Now let me check in here and see if I did anything else. I have not made anything for this tag, and I haven't done anything here on this side. This is the waterfall, and here we have that. So I haven't done anything in this part here. So I'll wait for that, for decorating on that. And we're going to get started on the pocket and inserts for this side. And I think that's probably going to be all for this week because I don't have a lot of time to get started on the pages. So I'll wait to start on a page next week. So we're definitely going to make this pocket and some inserts for that. So let me grab my other book and we'll get started. Okay, so here's the original album that I'm remaking. I'm going to open it up and we flip all the way to the back. And we'll see that I had left this solid and made pocket here and some different inserts. So it's just really a simple pocket here. And I'm going to go ahead and duplicate that pretty much. So it is finished pocket that is 3 inches. So let me get my supplies. I think I'm going to make it out of cardstock and then add patterned paper. So this is going to be real simple to make this pocket, and then we'll do the inserts too for this week. For the pocket, you're going to need 1 piece of cardstock that is 3 1/2 by 8. 3 1/2 by 8, and then we're going to score it. Put the 8-inch in at the top, score at a 1/2 inch, 7 1/2. Turn on your 3 1/2 inch side and score it just a 1/2 inch. This is just going to make a regular pocket. Take your scissors, miter cut by cutting right at where the 2 intersect. Just at an angle like that, like cutting that triangle off. And we're going to fold and burnish that. When you burnish that, when you fold them, make sure that they're not intersecting, so that there is no overlapping. So burnish it like this, and that's our pocket. And I'm going to move this out of the way, and I'm going to cut out of the mauve my colors one piece that is 2 7/8 by 6 7/8. It's going to go right here. And then out of your pattern paper, and I'm going to use these music notes. So I cut it 2 3/4 wide by 6 3/4 tall. So let me grab my glue. And we're going to put this piece on first. Line it up. Just going to leave a narrow margin. Go ahead and burnish that down. I'm going to burnish the pocket when I do that. And then make sure we're putting our pattern paper in the right direction. The fold of the pocket's going to be here on the left. So we want the music notes like that. So we'll just glue those on. And that gives us this narrow margin here on the pocket where you can see the little bit of the mauve and the black. Okay, so just lay it up like that. So then let's grab the book cover. Remember, this is the spine area, so this is going to go right here. Make sure that it does not go into that spine fold. So it's going to fit right there. Go ahead and put glue on the back side of the 1/2 inch flaps. Glue that down. Now in my original book, it was just a flat pocket out of pattern paper, but I think on this one it'd be better to have it out of the cardstock. So burnish that down. Okay, so now we have a pocket here. Now, instead of leaving this pink, I am going to put pattern paper here. So I'm going to cut this probably the same height as this one, which is 6 3/4 tall, and we just need to go in a little ways. So I'm going to cut it at probably 7 1/2 wide. So I'll be right back with that. Okay, so for this I'm going to use the jukebox and the records. So I've cut this one piece to the 6 3/4 tall by 7 1/2 wide. And it's going to just slip right in there, and we're just going to line it up to match. So you'll see the pink around it. So I'm going to put the glue on the back. And by not putting it all the way into the pocket or the width of the whole back cover, we're conserving our pattern paper that way. So it's going to be finished enough that just want to make sure I get it centered evenly, side to side, and about the same on the edge here. Okay, so that's cute. I'll probably add some more stuff over here on this side. I like that. So there's the cover. So now we're ready to make some different inserts for the inside. So these are the inserts that were in my original Route 66 one. Of course, I had photos. We had this fold out like this, which is just cardstock. And then I had this one like this out of pattern paper. This one I didn't add any photos yet. This was out of pattern paper. Then I just had a simple photo mat like this, and then one like this. So I've cut my papers to make them similar. Let me move this out of the way. They're going to go in this pocket here. So I'll get the scoreboard. I think I have them laid out in order. So for the first one, I cut cardstock, one that is 4 1/4 by 5 1/4. And this is just going to be mat number 1. And I cut patterned mauve. Sorry, I cut the mauve at 5 1/8 and 4 1/8. So that's going to glue down on here. So let me get my mat here. Okay, so this is going to glue on here, and then patterned paper. And I thought I would do the records, and I cut that 3 3/4 wide by 4 3/4 tall. But I'm going to take this photo corner punch. Hopefully, make sure you line it up in there if you have one of these, and just cut those corners. So I didn't have this on the original, but I like the corners. So you can just stick a photo in there. Just make sure you're lining it up so that it's punching correctly. So see, it just punches like that. So let's glue this mauve one down onto the black. Okay, just like this. Okay, it's got a narrow margin around there, and burnish it down. And then this is going to go right here on top where your photo would be. Hopefully I cut it out straight. So on the back side of this, I put glue just along the edge. You've got to be real careful around where your photo corners go. Put some here in the center. And I'm pretty much going to leave it free for the rest of it. Not do anything to the corners. So I'm just going to line this up like that. Burnish that down. So now it's made so that a photo can stick up underneath there. Okay, so that is the one mat that matches up with this one, except on this one I rounded the corners. This one I'm not. I'm going to leave them square because I have the photo mat. So that's that one. Okay, so the next one is the patterned paper one, which was just this one right here. And it left square. So a photo can go in the front and the back. Now I think on this one I am going to round my corners because I'm not going to use that punch. So I just kind of want to finish this up. So there's not much to this. You can make as many as you want or need. You can wait and do it later, once you know what your photos are, but I'm going to go ahead and do it now to show you what I'm doing. So that is mat number 2, which is just pattern paper. Fold out number 1. I'm going to do 2 of these. Are your 9-inch wide pattern paper by 6 tall. Okay, so we're going to score these. So you put your 9-inch in at the top, and you're going to score. This is fold out number 1. We're going to do 2 of them. We're going to score at 3, not too heavy, and 6 1/4. I think that's what I did. And fold it up, whichever side you want in or out. And so this has an offset like this, just like that. And so then I just put my photos in. You can just wait and see what you have. That's really all there is to it. But I think on this one, I'm going to round the 2 corners here and here, and then I'm going to look at it. It's just like that. And I think I'm going to go ahead and round these corners too. And we're going to do this other one the same way. So let's burnish this to kind of make sure they stay folded up. So that's going to be that one. here, and then this is the other one. This is the poodle skirts, so we're going to score the 9-inch side again at 3-inch and 6 1/4. Then I'm going to round the 4 outer corners. So a lot of this you can wait until, again, like I said, till you have your photos. If you want, I'm going to just burnish that one there, and then this one folds here. And so we have that little offset there. Okay, so that is fold out number 1, and we did 2 of them. Okay, then the last one is out of cardstock, and it is 9 inches wide by 5.5 tall, and put the 9-inch in at the top. And I'm going to score it in half at 4.5. Fold that and burnish. And it was just a simple one like this. Now this one I didn't put any patterned paper on it. I just put my photos in. So you can make it, as many as you want again. So this goes back in my original album. I'll do that in just a second. So these I cut patterned paper that are 4 3/8 wide by 5 3/8 tall. And you just have to decide which side you want. I think I'm going to do this on the front and the back. So they're the same size. So you're just going to glue these on. And I didn't round the corners or anything on this. You could have if you wanted to. But I'm just going to glue these on right here. The front. And on the back, same. And then I think I'm going to look at my cut aparts and put something on here. Okay, so that is fold out number 2, or really a booklet. Leaving it plain on the inside for photos. If I had enough of the mauve, I would probably put mauve mats in there. Okay, so I'm going to put this up out of the way. And I'm going to pause and look at some cut aparts. But before I do that, let's put these back in the original book. So as you see here in the original book, in the pocket, it was just made out of patterned paper, and I had this real cute little chipboard thing. I haven't made anything for my remake album yet. And then I also added a picture there. So you can do that if you want to. So like, I just stuck this in like this. The photos, the booklets. And then I had this extra one in here. So you can put in as many as you want in yours. So that's the original. So now I'm going to look for a cut apart for that. Okay, so I cut out one of the 3x4s. It says do the twist. I like that. I'm going to glue that on the front. Right here, let's see, I'm going to do it like that, kind of at a funky angle. And then I fussy cut one of the cut aparts of like these. This is before they punched out any punch outs for you. And I didn't have a die, a circle die that would fit it, or a big circle. I need to get a big circle punch. What is this, a 2-inch? Oh, that's bigger than that, but a 2-inch would have worked. But anyway, I cut it out with my scissors and I'm okay with it. And I'm just going to glue it right there. It's like a record. Now, if I could find some cute plastic records or chipboard records or something, I would add that on. It would be cute like that, or stickers. But there we go. I like that. That's really cute. We have these I don't know if I want to add anything yet to these. Kind of don't think I have anything that would dress them up more than they have. So I think I'm going to leave them for now like that. And that's ready for a photo. And then, of course, we have this one with the record like that. And it's a photo mat. So these are ready to go in. So this is what I'm going to insert for now into my cover in this remake. And there should be more room in this pocket than the other one had. So there's the photo mat of the records. 2 fold outs like that. I'm going to put this one in like this. And then we have this booklet here. So it just keeps it all nice and full like that. So that is this week's, well, I needed to put something there. And some of these may be moved around in the book, but I'm trying to think what I might want to put there that would be fun. Let's see. We've got this border of records. I think that might be fun. So let's cut that out. What was the height of this piece? Was pattern paper. It's like 6 3/4 tall. Yeah. So I'm gonna cut this out and cut it down to 6 3/4. So hang on just a second for that. Six 3/4 on the records. And I'm just going to put those right there. And I could make it a belly band, but I'm just going to glue it down. Okay. Kind of centered it. Got that right there. And you know what? I was trying to think maybe if I glued this down here like that. That mat. So that's kind of like the one I had in there. So I'm going to glue this down. So it's in the back of the book, ready for photo because it's got that photo punch there. It's more records in the jute box. Just kind of center it. Okay, and then we put the rest of these in. That, the book, and a photo mat that is ready to go, which can be used anywhere in the book. So that's the inside for now. And I think that's all we're going to do this week because, like I said, I have a real busy schedule. I wanted to get this part done, and then next week we will probably do the hinge. I'll work on that, and then we'll, if we have time, then we'll do our first page, at least get the page made. Best I remember in my original book, they were all a little different, and so I'll have to look that over and see if I want to do all my base pages the same, maybe change it up a little bit. But anyway, that's week 3 of Fun Friday. Thank you so much for joining me. Check back next week for another episode or in this series, Fun Friday, crafting, remaking my Route 66 album. Thanks, everybody. Remember to check out countrycraftcreations.com for your crafting supplies. Check to see if Homer's Diner is back in stock. If it is, I will put a link down below. And as always, remember to subscribe, click like, and which is a thumbs up, and subscribe if you haven't already, and be sure and click the bell so you'll know every time I upload a video. See you next week. Bye-bye.